Good day, folks. Pastor Jim Thomas from the Village Chapel here in Nashville, Tennessee, with your daily devotional, drawing again from Piercing Heaven. These are prayers of the Puritans, and I'm just reading a little from this card as before I get started reading today's selection. The Puritans' combination of warm piety and careful intellect has fueled a renaissance of interest in their movement, and this combination is indeed on display here in these prayers that we have from a variety of Puritans. David Clarkson from the 17th century has a cry for renewing grace. I wonder if this might be the cry of our hearts as well today. We cry to you, God, for renewing grace. We lie at your footstool and cry, help, Lord, or else I perish. Have you ever been in that sort of desperate place with God? Perhaps you've been longing for something to happen that hasn't happened, or perhaps you've been fearful that something is about to happen that you don't want to happen. And maybe, too, you just are in that really dry spiritual place and you just haven't sensed the Lord and His presence in your life before. This, we cry to you, God, for renewing grace, is so honest and so succinctly and beautifully put. We lie at your footstool and cry, help, Lord, or else I perish. What a perfect posture is described there. We lie at your footstool and cry. How honest. A heart that can still be moved. A heart that is still humble enough to lie at His footstool. Create in me a new heart and renew a right spirit within me, Clarkson prays. Renew me in the spirit of my mind and renew me in my inner soul. And look at the complete dependence on God that's being expressed here. It's a cry to God for help. It's a cry to God for rescue and deliverance, isn't it? And we can only do that, I think, when we actually find ourselves aware of our great need of God, lying before His footstool and crying out like this. Take away this old mind that is so blind, so vain, so carnal. Take away this old will that is so obstinate, so perverse, so rebellious. And again, the honesty and the humility and the actual realization of our poverty before God on display here. These Puritans so good about that. I'm afraid we've just gotten too shallow in our day and time. We don't get quiet enough long enough to be able to see the truth enough about who we are and the condition of our hearts. And we're moving so fast, we're just constantly asking God to just check boxes and take care of our wish list. And this is just refreshing to hear for me. And this, again, is that bit of us that needs to move away from self and closer to soul, the soul that flourishes in the presence of God, in the rest that God has for us. When we turn our soul over to Him and look to Him. Take away this old mind that is so blind, so vain, so carnal. Take away this old will, so obstinate, perverse, so rebellious. Take away this old conscience that is so partial, so seared, so senseless, partial, self-focused, so seared, so calloused over, impenetrable in some ways because we've learned how to rationalize and justify our sin. Take away this old conscience, so partial, so seared, so senseless. And when you think about it, how many times in the rear view mirror do you see how much it just didn't make any sense that you flirted with that temptation, that you fell into that sin, that you allowed yourself to get angry. You allowed pride to be at the center of who you were. You became so frustrated, or you were so fearful that you just struck out at others in some way, or you got angry and fell into unbelief. as it relates to God's purposes and design in your life. This is so good. Let old things pass away. Let all things become new. You who brought this world out of nothing with a word can with a word work in me this new creation. What great hope there is. That's one of the reasons I love studying a book like Genesis, which means beginnings and is all about the beginner who can make a new beginning for you and a new beginning for me. Do not let me perish, Clarkson says. Say the word and it will be done. Just say the word, and this soul, now a dark, woeful chaos, a lump of corruption and confusion, will become a new creature. And you can just hear in his prayer, his hope is stirring, his confidence is being placed in the Lord. And that can be true for me and for you as well. Lord, give me this new heart. Put this new spirit into me. You have the key of David. You close and no one opens. You open and no one can shut. Lord, open this heart that has been too long closed against you. Break down these strongholds that keep you from me. Wow. Yeah. Cast out sin. Cast out the world that kept you out of possession for so long. Bind the strong man. Cast him out. Other lords have had dominion over me. They have made me miserable by keeping my Lord, my happiness from me. Cast out these intruders. Take possession of me and be mine forever. What a great prayer. Again, so passionate for God to be God. For the Lord to be sovereign in his life. David Clarkson is just an amazing and honest and humble prayer. And I'm inspired by this. I hope you are as well. You call for my heart, Lord, it is yours. Though I have dealt treacherously with you and given my heart to other things, it is yours. It cost you dearly. So enter and take possession of it. You knock at the door to this wretched heart. Why stay so long outside? Come in, bless me with your presence. Break it open with almighty power. Let it no longer shut you out. Amen. And amen means truly or verily. And you remember in the Gospels, Jesus used to say it twice. Truly, truly, verily, verily, amen, amen. And it's as if to say, this is really true. This is the longing of my heart before God. Piercing Heaven, Prayers of the Puritans. Highly recommend it to you. If you don't have a copy, I think you'd really enjoy this quite a bit. I'm thinking, by the way, of doing an occasional Ask the Pastor. And so if you have some questions that you'd like me to address, I'll have to be able to answer it in 5 or 10 minutes because we want to keep this devotional short each and every day. But perhaps once in a while, I'll be able to take some of your questions and address them as the pastor here at the Village Chapel. So if you're interested in that, please just send the question in to me at info@thevillagechapel.com. And just call it Ask the Pastor. Here's my question. And I'll take all serious questions and consider them. And as time permits and as it seems right, perhaps we'll make a run at some of those questions, okay? Thanks again for joining me, and thanks for sharing this link to these daily devotions with your friends. And God bless you today. I hope the Lord is with you and you are with him, okay? God bless you.
Daily Devotions with Pastor Jim Thomas is a resource of the Village Chapel in Nashville, Tennessee. If you find this daily devotional beneficial, leave a review and share it with friends and family. For more resources or to support our ministry, visit our website, thevillagechapel.com. Artwork for this podcast by Kim Thomas. Music by Phil Kagi.